Today on Judge Faith, exes from Wisconsin, involved in a tumultuous on-again, off-again romance, come to court for one more round in the relationship ring.
You wake up to four slash tired. That's not something a guy would do. That's a woman's thing to do. A scorned woman, an upset woman. That's what that was about.
You are petty. You know who she is? Tell her.
Petty LaBelle.
That's how petty you are.
Man, he could be Petty Murphy, so.
And later, a Minnesota driver demands payment from the man whose horse accidentally collided with her car on a quiet country road.
It was very pitch black that night, dense fog, and I felt something hit the hood of my car.
Yeah, it was the horse. The kids and my wife got it for me for Father's Day about 2 weeks before.
But you think the horse jumped the fence?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Keontis Young says the defendant was a jealous girlfriend and destroyed his property in a fit of rage. He's suing for car repairs and property damage. Defendant Shavetta McMurtry says she doesn't know because Keontis was a cheating boyfriend who pushed her buttons and got what he deserved.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Young versus McMurtry.
Thank you, Juan. Keontis Young,
Keontis, yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant, Shavetta McMurtry,
Correct.
for $4,471 you say she owes you for car damages, ruined clothes, 4 slashed tires, and 2 broken windows.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to assume, based on the description, the two of you were somehow involved in a relationship at some point.
Yes, ma'am, we were.
Okay, tell me what happened, sir.
I met Shavetta about October 2008. I was out hanging with my fellow friends, family member, cousins. She walks in. She was my type.
What is your type?
I like my women tall, but not too tall. Short, but not too short. So on average, I would say about between 5'3" and 6'2". Okay.
That's like most of the women in America, but go ahead.
Well, I like to keep, an open mind.
Did he tell you you were his type when he approached you? What did he say?
He was just like flirting,
Was he your type?
I was kind of tipsy, so I can't.
And you went out, he became your boyfriend at some point, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long did the two of you date?
I could say like 6 months.
Only 6 months?
Yeah.
This was you met in 2008.
Yes.
And things have been occurring between the two of you all the way up until this month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what is this lawsuit about? Who slashed your tires? Who broke your windows? Who damaged your car?
She did it. She did it in a fit of rage. She has a bit of an attitude. It all started with my broken windshield, okay?
Mm-hmm. When was this?
2012.
What happened?
So we were out at a local bar. There was a few young ladies in there that was in the bar. So
It was your type?
Basically.
80% of the women in the
yeah.
bar are your type. I get it. And what
Yes,
happened?
okay, so yes. So I go to the bar to get us a drink.
Mm-hmm.
There was another young lady at the bar having trouble with her order. I made a recommendation as to what she should drink. So she said, well, since you're recommending it, why don't you pay for it? I'm a gentleman. Okay,
So you bought her a drink?
I bought her a drink, okay? I mean,
Mr. Young,
okay,
Mr. Young.
see, here's the thing, though. Okay, wait, here's the thing. Let me explain.
All kind of violations happen with that.
Let me
explain.
Let me explain, though, okay? So where we live, it isn't too big. I know a lot of people there, okay? A lot of people know me, okay? I have a reputation, per se. Okay.
So you saw him buy this other woman a drink?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was it a friendly encounter as he described,
No,
or was he flirting? He was flirting?
he got to catch them all, like the Pokemons.
I was not.
And so what happened with the windshield?
I had broke his windshield. For one,
With
it
what?
started off.
Her feet.
How?
She kicked my windshield.
I had on heels.
Tell me about the slashed tire, sir.
We were out, and she wants to have this conversation about us getting back together. I tell her no. She wants to argue. I don't want to argue, so I drop her off at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you
okay?
put me out.
Put you out of the car?
Yes, Your Honor.
3 o'clock in the morning.
It was gentlemanly. Like I didn't drop her off.
I had to call a cab.
You're being a gentleman because you didn't push her out of the car. You stopped and you actually said, get out on the street.
In a nutshell, yes. That's exactly what I told her. I stopped. Maybe.
And so the next morning you wake up, is what you're telling me, and
I
your
wake
tires
up,
are slashed. How do you know she did it? Did you do it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, that's how you know.
So
I'm trying to help. I mean, most times they're like, you can't prove it was me. Well, did you know at the time that it was her?
I knew exactly who it was. I mean, that's a woman's thing to do. Look at it. That's not something a guy would do. That's a woman's thing to do. A scorned woman. That's what that was about. Yes, I knew she did it.
Let me see your Facebook post. Because you post on Facebook on September 3rd.
Yes.
Doesn't appear that you know at the time exactly who did this, but you post about this on Facebook. So you write, I come out to not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4, my tire slashed. And people respond to your post, #petty. And then you chime in on the Facebook post.
Sure did. Sure did.
Someone writes, she got a lot of time on her hands to do 4 tires, no life check. And you respond to them, tell them basically shut up.
Basically, I got tired of his little fans,
You are petty. And petty, you know who she is? Tell her.
Patty LaBelle.
Patty LaBelle.
That's how petty you are.
And he could be Petty Murphy, so.
Coming up, the Exes deliver more drama.
There's a huge pile of my clothes. There's this aroma of bleach.
You need some professional help. You really do.
And later, a Minnesota driver demands to be paid for the damage to her car caused by a runaway horse.
It was dense fog. Something hit the hood of my car.
The back left leg, right above the kneecap, was snapped and the bone was sticking out.
Plaintiff Keontis Young says Shavetta has issues with jealousy and anger. He's suing for car repairs and property damage. Defendant Shavetta McMurtry says she doesn't know because Keontis got what was coming to him.
What happened to your clothes? You said she ruined over $1,000 worth of clothes. When was that, sir?
The clothes happened in about 2010. The clothes happened. At this time, we were, living together. We were together. I get to the house late. She's not happy about it, of course. She wants to argue. I'm tired. I'm drunk. Got to be to work. I go out. When I come back home, there's a huge pile of my clothes scattered all over the house, all over the couch. That's all my clothes scattered. As I approach, there's this aroma of bleach.
You bleached his clothes?
I mean, I paid for those clothes. I bought those clothes for him.
But why were you angry that time?
Because he was out, he came home late, like, you're ignoring my phone calls.
Let me tell you something. You need some professional help. You really do. You just go off, and you're so vindictive. And you say he's cheating, he's doing all these other things. You only have one choice when someone cheats. There's really only one thing you can do, and that's leave. You can't change people. And then you're silly. Right? Because this happened in 2010.
Yes.
It should only take one time for her to flip out for you to know this is not good for me. Because now you're in this cycle of every year something's happened. She's slashing your tires. She's damaging your car. She's pouring bleach on your clothes. What's wrong with you?
Look at her. I mean, she's beautiful. I mean, like I said,
so there are a lot of beautiful women in the world who are not crazy and vindictive.
Right. I agree. But she holds
What
her
is that?
own. Okay,
What is
so.
that?
These are a pair of my work khakis. As you can see, she's cut them up, okay? She's bleached them. Not only did she bleach them, but she cut the seats out of my pants. So she leaves a note that states, now you're literally assed out on my pants, okay?
It's not funny at all. Let me see the other photos of damages to the car.
So, just recently.
No, you threw a brick through the windshield?
The back windshield, yes.
I bust the windows out your car.
See, she thinks it's funny, and it's really not funny.
She thinks she's justified in doing what she does when you make her angry, even though you may be wrong. Maybe you're cheating. Maybe you're flirting. Again, you only have one choice, and that is to leave. But you can't destroy people's property. It just makes you look crazy.
I try to give him the benefit of the doubt,
No, you don't. How? When?
By giving him another chance, because he try to, we gonna work it out,
Because I love her. I do. I absolutely love her.
That's crazy.
Okay. I give you that.
That is the very definition of insanity, is keep doing the same thing expecting different results. She's not gonna change unless she gets some professional help, because I think you need it.
I think everybody could change.
Really? How's that worked out for you the past 6 years?
Not too well.
Every time she damages something, you know what you say to yourself? You know what? She's gonna change. I'll be all right. What do you want to say, Warren?
I go to a lot of calls. This is a cycle of violence. It's not going to get any better. That's what Judge Faith is trying to explain to you. She knows the wrong she's doing. You're enabling her to do it. And then, God forbid, I would hate to see something worse happen to you. You get hurt. You got to go, because this isn't going to end well. I promise you it's not going to end well.
Based on everything submitted and the value of the property you admit to you've destroyed, there's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor of $2,956. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I do agree that something needs to change, because it could be worse. It could go and be a lot more physical damage.
It's over. I'm done with that. He can go find somebody else. Like, I'm okay. I'm cool.
We're always interested in what you have to say about our cases. Write us with your thoughts or comments. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or my Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you.
Plaintiff Carlina McDougall says the defendant's horse jumped a fence and collided with her car, causing major damage. She's suing for car repairs. Defendant Jason Mitzel says he doesn't know because fireworks scared his horse, causing him to jump the fence and accidentally run across the road. He's countersuing for a vet bill and pain and suffering.
Carlina McDougall,
Yes.
you are suing the defendant Jason Mitzel for $1,735 for car repairs.
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $840 for a vet bill and pain and suffering.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, as I understand, a horse that belonged to the defendant, you collided with this horse and it caused damage to the car you were driving, correct?
Well, the horse fell on the hood of my car, yes.
Okay,
Tripped
you
and
had a
fell
collision
on
with
my
the horse. Am I correct, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
What kind of car were you driving?
It was 92 Corsica.
Okay, tell me what happened.
I was driving home from work. It was around 11:30 at night, and it was very pitch black that night, and it was dense fog. Another car was heading toward me at that very moment, and I felt like something hit the hood of my car. And I immediately pulled over into the first driveway. I pulled my window down. I was listening. I could hear it was a horse. I put my four-way blinkers on to protect, any more traffic, and I called the police and waited for his arrival.
I mean, that's a significant impact.
Yes.
How did you find out that this horse belonged to the defendant?
I got the information from the police officer.
Did you arrive at the scene that night?
Me and my wife were in our bedroom just watching TV, of course, watching Judge Faith on TV.
You think that's going to help your case?
But,
I mean, I'm glad you watched the show, but okay.
what happened was my mother-in-law, who we take care of, she's 24/7, she was outside and heard something and told one of the kids to come get us. So we walked down, and it was the horse. We just got the horse with the kids, and my wife got it for me for Father's Day about 2 weeks before.
Beautiful. How did the horse get out?
It's a good question. We have 7 acres of property there, so we got fences all around it, and we have electric fence on it. And what was going on it's July 5th. Some neighbor kids were lighting fireworks off.
But you think the horse jumped the fence?
Yes. That's the only way he could have got out, was jumped it, because it's...
So you arrive at the scene, and what do you see?
I checked out the horse. There's nothing wrong with the horse other than the leg was broken. The back left leg, right above the kneecap, was snapped and the bone was sticking out. And so, obviously, we're like, what do you do? Nothing you can do.
So I'm assuming the horse didn't survive. What happened?
We had to call a vet out. We finally found one. So we were there for about an hour and a half on the side of the road waiting for the vet to finally get there to find one to come out.
And the horse was still alive?
Yep.
Wow.
And so when the vet came, he looked at it, examined, and said, yeah, there's nothing we can do. No surgery we could do for it, nothing we could do for it, but had to put it down. So put it to sleep. So then we had to, what do you do with a 1,000-pound horse? My kids, about 3 or 4 weeks before, were in the backwoods. They were digging out a big pit, building a fort. They were digging a hole because they're part native.
So you buried the horse there?
Yeah, so we put a tarp underneath the horse, got it flipped up and tied a rope around him, drug him with my Suburban all the way to the back of the property where the hole was, hooked up my riding lawnmower with all of us pulling on it, and the riding lawnmower drug it the rest of the way into the hole and then buried it.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the issue of fault is discussed in more detail.
The road's out there, it's good probably where it was laying, good 6-7 feet where he was laying down.
You're not saying that she veered off on the side of the road and hit the horse that was on the side of the road, are you?
Plaintiff Carlina McDougall says Jason's horse jumped the fence, landing on the road. She's suing for car repairs. Defendant Jason Mitzel says he doesn't know because fireworks scared his horse, causing him to run across the road. He's countersuing for a vet bill and pain and suffering.
Let me see your photos you took at the scene that night.
This is the next morning. Of course, you can see the shoulder here. That's probably about 4 feet wide there, and there's the actual road right there. This is one of my sons here. The horse was laying right here, down this way, and it was laying with its head this way. You know, the road's out there. It's good probably where it was laying, good 6 feet, I suppose, or 7 feet, where he was laying down.
Let me see the next photo.
And that's where he was laying right there, yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So you're not disputing that, I mean, listen, the horse somehow got out of your yard.
No,
You're not saying that she veered off on the side of the road and hit the horse that was on the side of the road, are you?
you know, it's a 1,000-pound horse, and it's, you know, and you can see it was laying in the grass there. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's good 6, you know, spun
And
around.
it could have popped over in that direction to try to get out of the way. You just don't know. You weren't there.
No.
But we know that the horse got loose.
Got
no
loose, yes,
fault of
yeah.
her own, and she was driving down the street that day. There's no evidence that she was speeding. She didn't see it.
Yep.
And, you know, being from Louisiana and driving down in the back roads late at night, we're always looking out for deer. We never know when there's a deer that's going to dart out in front of a car. Back home, and sometimes you don't see the deer until you see the eyes at the very end. So what you're describing to me, it's not unreasonable that she hit a horse that ran out in the road. You submitted some video. What do you want me to see?
It's a video of my family when describing it.
Hi, Judge Faith. I'm Vanessa, and we are all grieving over the loss of Stanley. It was a very traumatic event. We had to watch him suffer until the vet could arrive. The vet said that there was no saving him. Where the injury had occurred on his leg, it was completely broken in half, hanging by tissue. We are all very devastated over his loss.
That's your wife?
Wife and kids.
And the children?
Yep. Some of my
Okay.
kids.
I feel bad for you. I really do. But her car was really damaged. But the car is only worth $828. You're suing for $1,700?
Well, I got the car from my grandma, and I can't afford a brand new car, so I just really need to get it fixed. And
Yeah, but that's not how this works.
And
you can't sue him for over and above what the car is worth. What happens is,
All right.
even if this were an insurance claim, if you had the right coverage, the insurance company would
Right.
total the car out, and you get the
Right.
value of the car. But this car is only, well, I guess in good condition, it's $953. Grandmothers, they take good care of cars. So you
Yes,
can
they
drive a
do.
car. You get a car from your grandmother, you'll be driving that car for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because they've been driving it to the grocery store, to church, and back home. That's it.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
In terms of liability, she's not responsible here. You're responsible because the horse somehow was able to jump the fence and get out of your yard, the acres that you have. So you really have to, you have other horses, right? So this is something that you're going to have to check on to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
That's right.
So your counterclaim for vet bills and for pain and suffering for the horse, she didn't do anything wrong. She doesn't owe you for that. But I do find that you have to pay the damages to the plaintiff's car. And unfortunately, her insurance didn't cover it. I'm sure she feels bad for hitting the horse. It's not a great feeling, but she needs her car to get around. She doesn't have the money to pay for her car to be repaired. So I'm sure this was a last resort for her, and she didn't want to have to sue you. So judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $953, which is the value of the car in good condition. Good luck.
I feel like the judge's ruling was fair because it will cover some of the cost of my car.
What can you do, I guess? It's move on and swallow your losses and try to make it up somehow.
If you or someone you know has a dispute, don't take the law into your own hands. Let Judge Faith rule on it for you. To submit your case, go to judgefaith.com and tell us your story. See you in court.